Hey, hey, Sharif. Can you hear me? Okay, awesome. Hope everything goes well. My first live on Friday the 13th. I've been pushing I've been pushing changes for the last change was 20 minutes ago. So hope everything goes well. About the live? Hey. Ah. I pushed I pushed a few other changes since then. Ooh. Sorry. Yeah, there were some issues with connecting WordPress, so I think we're gonna do that last to make sure we don't break anything. But I have to two two instances set up, so in case we break one, we have another. Now it's the now we'll see how it's treating us, especially me. Face. So I was thinking, what do you say to start with the surprise new features I want to show you, and then maybe we'll show them again in the end if people come along. then we'll have our own little secret. Let's go. Okay. Uh, can you see my browser okay? Last time people complained that it's too small, too... Ooh, and I... Let me show my pointer. Show cursor. Can you see my cursor now? I'll assume you can. Yes, awesome. So to see the new features, we're gonna add a special parameter, experimental equals true. Ooh. Okay, so a lot of people complain that you cannot select stuff in the preview and that Tailwind is hard and they don't have experience with Tailwind. So I added a few features here above the preview. First is an inspector to select whatever you want and highlight it in the code. See, we double clicked on this and it selected the text. If you're looking for text and stuff like that, we update here, save, yeah. So you see the new HMR reload. So So now let's enable the classes part. So we select the title, for example, and then here we can see the Tailwind classes it has applied. So this title has these 4 classes, and now we can search classes by the CSS property or by the Tailwind class name and see the preview in real time. So for example, if we want to add a background, you can see if we select, we see the preview, and when we hit enter, the class is applied. Now let's say we want to add a padding, so it works even with the CSS class name if you're not familiar with Tailwind yet. So you can select the padding, and let's say text white. Okay, rounded LG. So make it rounded. So now if you want to see your oops, why didn't you tell me the screen wasn't okay? So you're still here? Okay. So the idea is you use this to write and see how classes look. So, okay. So when you're ready, you can click Save to Code, and it's updated here. Save, and you have the title. So if you're a bit scared of Tailwind, this should make it a lot easier. We select this. We can do whatever you want. Padding 10, and even preview it before selecting it. Padding 10. Font bold, text green. We can also still use theme color, so text primary, for example. Save to code, and then if you go to the theme setting and change the theme, sunset, our font changed because it uses the theme colors. So yeah, I think this is really useful. What do you think? You also see the CSS equivalent for each Tailwind class. So let's do something nicer, a gradient, BG gradient to right from yes, they are clickable, from primary to secondary, and we should have let's try BG gradient to left. Oops. I unselected it, but yeah, this is why are they there? Because, for example, look, you have something and you want to see how it looks without a class, so you can remove it. And to remove classes, so if you can remove these two and then save it, remove them. If it makes sense. Makes sense. So yes, this is the Tailwind helper. Now if we disable the inspect and the class selector, we have here a button that highlights the save equals remove. Okay, yes, this is the first iteration. We can talk about the details. So, and it's also available for components. It's available for every HTML tag, not for components. A component here would be this section, but we can select, for example, this paragraph inside the section. So it works for every HTML element. It's a helper to help you work with Tailwind. So okay, let's say we deselect it here. The components button, button helps you see the components on a page, so you can see how a page is built and rendered. So here we can see it uses the base layout. If you click there, it will open it. And then here we can see the components, the header, we can open it, the main menu, the sections, and the footer. So this is helpful to have an overview of the page and the components loaded. If you have any questions about this, or you want to see more of the Tailwind editor, let me know. Okay. So yeah, these are the new features. They're experimental. If you want to use them, you have to add the experimental equals true parameter at the top. Are you planning to integrate a way to create page base? So if I am planning to integrate a way to create pages and blocks on WP, another other way around, you can create pages on WP now. You can create pages here, but if you can connect WordPress, for example, the codeflowstudios.com. So if we download the pages from here, so we download the pages from this site. Every time you add a new page, it will update the pages list, the menu, so you can create them on the WordPress site. We can see your screen. Yes, sorry. Browser. Sorry, yeah. So when you connect here a WordPress site and download the pages from the site, this will create a connection, and every time you add a new page, it will appear here. Does that make sense? We're going to look into WordPress connection later, because what about media files? Yeah, you can download them here initially if you want, or if not, they will get downloaded at build time. So the media files will be from the WordPress site. But we can look at connecting WordPress later, because I made a lot of changes to this part, and I don't want to break anything in this section and not see the other things. But yeah, that's the idea. You can create pages on the WordPress side. And what about post times? Yes, exactly. Okay. Yes, they are synchronized, because here the team members is a custom post type. Okay, let's try and generate so you can see team members, generate Astro, overwrite all. If we break it, I have another one. Save and connect. Takes a while when you connect a new site. Okay. So now we see here the team member button. That's a custom post type from WordPress. These are the team members. So if you go to code flows to the connected site, no, it's demo admin. go here and team members, Alex Chan, let's see it here. So we have Alex. Ah, it's Alex, okay. And we change his name, Alex, new name, save. And if you go here, refresh, it's Alex new name. So this is a custom post type connected to the WordPress. We have, but this is the simplest integration because you can use the AI. The AI knows about WordPress and can see what data is available in WordPress. So you can tell the AI, okay, I want we can try that example. I want a mega menu with the team members, or I want the team member page to be more modern, more, and it will go check how the content looks on the WordPress site, and it's gonna build in Astro what you tell it with that content, and it will be editable from WordPress. Look, because even here, if you, oh, I hate Gutenberg. If we add another paragraph, stu, and let's say you're gonna make it bold, save, okay, and we go here, refresh. You need to refresh for, you see, the new Gutenberg block with it's bolded. Make sense? Any questions about this WordPress connection, or as they are working over MCP? Yes, absolutely. Not over MCP. It's an internal architecture, but yeah, it's using the API, and the AI has a tool that can ask for the API from WordPress, and there's a filter that removes all the data and gives just the structure. So the AI knows the structure of your data without using 1,000 tokens to parse the whole data that comes from WordPress, if that makes sense. That's how it works. So it uses the REST API, and the AI is aware of that REST API. We can try later to make a mega menu, because on my last demo live, it failed, and I fixed it in the meantime. I fixed it so well that I broke it again half of an hour before, but now it should be okay. How do you add a slider? A slider with the theme? Adding GraphQL to because we're using the REST API for pulling data from the front end. Think a third party they want to scrape, and if you want to add a framework that uses a slider, need to show the customer. I mean, the customer doesn't need to be inside PhantomWP. The customer will be in the WordPress dashboard. That's the idea of PhantomWP. So if you want to make, if I would like to make a slider, I think I'll do it using AI. Let's try it. And you create a nice looking slider. Team member KPT from WordPress. So let's see the AI working too. But you can also use NPM modules to install sliders if you want. Now, no one's stopping you to find external sliders and integrate them. Even the AI might know if there is a library, it can install it, if it's easier for it to do that. for an open router. So yes, the chat has access to npm and can install dependencies. That's new. We I also optimized this chat to use a lot of caching responses and stuff like that to optimize the AI usage cost. So here is the slider it created. This is again with data from WordPress. This is the custom post type. It should be, let's see if it's responsive. It's responsive. I think it's a decent slider. Are you still working with? I don't know why that's relevant. Yeah, we're friends. Yeah. So yeah, this is the slider. So this is how I would do a slider. I mean, now you can build it yourself or yeah, use AI. Any other question related to this? I have this on my list to show you how to create pages, components, layouts, then AI, then WordPress, and then the new features. Can you tell me a bit about the production environment? Everything is front side, or you can set up. Yes, so everything you see here is on your own GitHub account. So so this is your site that you work on. Yeah, I don't want to talk about this. This is a separate thing. So here is the GitHub account, and all the code is here. The Astro site is here, so from here you can deploy it anywhere. So you can deploy to Vercel is just an integration I added, but you can deploy it to Cloudflare pages. I already have that on a branch, so that's coming soon. And also you can deploy to Netlify, to GitHub pages if you want, all with very generous free tier. But what I want to say is you own everything. So it's not, if PhantomWP goes away tomorrow, you still can work on your site. And yeah, that's the main thing I wanted to do, to not lock you into anything. So this is just an Astro app that you own completely. You can open in VS Code, or you even have the option here to open it in VS Code, because this being a GitHub repo, GitHub, or even look, you can open it in the GitHub editor. We use GitHub project inside of? I'd have to look into that. Someone else asked me. There are some options regarding to organization, and I think it should work, but you should connect your organization then, not your GitHub account. So yeah, here is the project. It's opened in an external editor, not in PhantomWP. So yeah, everything works. So you're not locked into this in any way. This just offers some nice way of working with Astro and with headless and with creating components, auto completing. It sets up everything for you. Because to start something like this, you would have to set up npm, node, vite, hot reload, all that stuff. So this is all taken care of by this thing. Okay. If that works for you, it's very good. This thing is not for everyone. It's I think it's mostly for people that want to to go into headless but don't know where to start or are afraid or things like that. But if you have a if you have it set up and it works, yeah, that's great. And how does it work for you? Do you like it? Oh, you said mind blown. Yeah, yeah. So it's good. WordPress multi-site to avoid. Well, I guess there should be the multi-language plugins should output the language versions in the REST API. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's fun to work like that. It makes it fun, and the AI it's really good. Uh, yeah. So, are you guys? Do you guys already know how to use Phantom WP? Because I wanted to show you how to create components, how to create pages, how to extract components. I don't know. Is this something you want to see or already know? Hello, will be awesome for soon. I'm interested in. Okay, I don't think this is the place to discuss this. Yes, I said I will open at some point, but I have to. The problem is every time I make big changes and big releases, I have to tell everyone, okay, now you have to start a new project. And that's why I allowed a few people in, because if I would have a ton of people and I have to tell everyone, okay, now remove your projects and start them anew to load the new changes. More to know about. Okay, so and now one thing that I did to fix this is this infrastructure thing, where you will be able to update your infrastructure version, so you don't have to recreate your projects every time. So yeah, but this needs a bit more testing. So this will help going forward, will help to not have to tell you delete your projects. And I will open more places for the. Okay, so what I wanted to say, when you create a site in Phantom WP, you don't have to connect it to WordPress right away. So you can, for example, in Astro, a page, we have the pages folder, and for a page to exist, it's a file in the pages folder. So we can create pages, let's say about us, and when we create it, it's created here, and we should see it in the menu. See about us. So now if you go here, this is a page. So that's all it takes to add a new page. H1. Yeah, you can write content here, change content. Yes, yes. You see how fast the auto reload is. That was really a challenge, but I love it how it works now. Yes, save. You see it here. So what happens if, for example, there is a new Tailwind version? Do we need to manually go and update it, or is that something PhantomWP will take care of? It depends. You can. I don't think you need to update Tailwind that often, but if a new version appears, you can go here in the terminal and write npm update Tailwind. I could add a feature in PhantomWP to show you outdated dependency and dependencies, but right now that's not available. But this uses the latest versions. So yeah, this is how we create a page. We also have the option to create an MDX page. So this is mostly content. So for example, for a privacy policy, let's say privacy privacy policy, create page. So as you can see, this is MDX. You can write mainly for content. Is the heading, paragraph. Come on, this. I will have to go to the page. Yeah. This is an MDX page. Also sentences good for production, right? So, yeah. How long does it take to build 100 pages website? No, I have no idea, but it shouldn't take very long. I saw long build times, but for thousands of pages and tens of thousands of pages, I don't think 100 pages it will be a deal breaker. So pages. Now let's talk about components. Let's delete the code here. Could you show? No, that's not done yet. That's on a branch. It's I signed up. I didn't receive any mail. Well, if you signed up after, if you signed up after, you didn't receive the email. But I will send when I open more. I will send another batch of emails. So the cool thing about components, for example, is that you can, let's say we build, yeah, the details. Let's say we create a card. Simple, I don't want to go into design and stuff like that. And then when we want, we can go and extract component, card, extract, and now we have the card here. This is how a component looks. And then we can add as many cards as we want. Now, when we go to card.astro, let's say we want to send this text from outside. We can go here and then extract property. Let's say it's called content, it's string, and card is the default value. So we extracted the property, and now here we can say card content equals card content. See, card content. Now we can create how many cards we want with different content. So that's the idea of components. And if we make a change here in the card, let's say class heading for PG red, text white, it updates everything. Let's add the margin, empty 2. So you see that's what's cool with Tailwind, because Tailwind works in this context because you have an easy way to work with components, and this is native Tailwind, not some hacky implementation. Let's say rounded large for borders, and we have our cards. Further the one he got, but it was sold out. I'll try and snag the next round. Good luck. Thank you. Good luck to you too. And thank you for joining. I think I saw your videos too. I'm still learning. Okay, so this is how components work, how you can extract them. And now let's say we want to create a component from scratch. We can create new card, and we can select here component with properties. And now here we can add properties. So for example, we can have here content required, and now let's go title required and content required. Create component. So now you have the new card component. This is the old card. We have autocomplete for components. So when we select this, you can see we automatically get the properties auto-completed. So say new card title test and test content. Of course, nothing happens because new card. Oh yeah, because we have field title and content. And if you want to talk about slots, because I see a lot of implementations in builders, and yeah, what basically what a slot is, you see components look like HTML elements, but they are capitalized. So what happens in a slot, we can close the new card here, and whatever we enter here gets rendered in the slot. So for example, you can have an H1 footer of the card. Okay, and you see it here because this has a slot, and in the slot the content here. So basically you can inject anything you want in a component. The properties are more for strings, for objects, for arrays, stuff like that. So yeah, everything we add here is rendered here inside the slot. If you create a new card, maybe if you want a card that doesn't have an H1 but has an H4. New card H4. So using a slot, the controlling element can the the place where you render the element, you can inject HTML or code or whatever you need inside, and it will get rendered inside that slot. Does that help? Do slots make sense now? I hate how I pronounce that word. Because I saw on the groups a lot of confusions around them. Yeah, yeah. So that's how it works. That's where all the builders got their inspiration from. So yeah, this is the OG. That's how this works. Now, so we did components. Let's look at layouts. You should call out. Okay. The YouTube short here. Layouts. So layouts are exactly like components. They have a slot that basically will render the content inside them. If you know how builders work, that they have a template and they have a place where they render their main content. It's the same with layouts. This is a template and this is where the content in the template gets rendered. So for example, here in index.astro, we extend from the base layout, and all this code will be rendered inside this slot. So you can see the layout adds the HTML, the meta stuff, the body, the closing body, and things like this. So basically, layouts are almost components, but without properties, only with slots. And you can extend the layouts. For example, this is the base layout, and then a content layout just adds something more, if you can see. This will add a header, a footer, a main, and then the slot is here. So when you extend the base layout, instead the content, so when you extend the content layout, we're here in the content layout. Basically, you can extend layouts by adding more inside them, if that makes sense. Okay, so these are layouts, media. So you can upload images from here. Here in the source media, all the images will be optimized. So for example, And now what's this? Clean shot. Date edit. Uh, mm, okay, add an image. So the image has been updated. Now, I don't know, let's go to the card and you can drag the image here, save. And now every card should have an image after it. Let's drag it inside. So see, this is very easy to add images. We just dragged it inside the card and now we have, okay, here we have the options to open this in a new page. Ooh, this is, I think I'm zoomed in here, and we're zoomed here too. Oh no, the cards are full width. Yeah, let's, for example, to fix this class max, let's go to the end, max with medium, let's say. Okay, if we go here, yeah, these are the cards. So this is how images work. The media library. So if you go to index, let's comment this out. Okay, now I don't have anything. Now we have a library. We can select, we have a lot of things here. We can this, everything here takes into account the theme. Sorry to throw random questions. How will SEO work? For example, if SEO on web will it capture meta fields? Yes, yes. So I tested with Yoast SEO. We have the option here to set basic SEO settings if you don't have anything set up. But if you have pages coming from WordPress and posts, it will bring the SEO data. I think I tested it with 3 plugins, most lately Yoast. So yeah, that should work because the SEO data is included in the REST API. And okay, we were looking at the component library. So you can insert, for example, let's say this header, but you can also create a page. So you can select the header, we can select a feature section, and now if you go to the preview here, we can see our site. Then let's say you want a testimonial, pricing. Let's go to preview section, which pricing you want. This looks nice. Then we go to page again, and that's it. And then we go insert all. Now you can see the components were created and they were added here. So now we save, and voila, we have our site, our starter site ready. Let's open it in your tab. Oh, we have it here. So yeah, this is the site we built. So now we'll be exposed to the front end. No, that's why I use the REST API. So most of the data in the REST API is public. Things like URLs in meta images, but meta images are for, if you mean the ones for SEO, those would be public, right? But to a page, will that be available in the REST API? You can register custom REST endpoints with WP Codebox, so you can do anything on the WordPress site. For example, if you want, I don't know, to, as you said, the schema, you can create, there's a method, add the REST endpoint, and then you output the schema there, and on the PhantomWP side, you can set it as the schema for the page, or do whatever you want. So you You can do a lot with the WordPress backend having WP codebox. Oh, speaking of, drink some water. So yes, that's possible. But yeah, here is the site we've built using the pre-made components. This is also, let's hide the code a bit. This is also works with the token designer. So if you change a theme, if we change a theme, this one changed, or we can use a black one, dark one. Right theme. Yes, all components are themed, and take account of the theme. You can change here the sizes. We can extend tokens for custom components too. Yes, yes. The AI even knows if it creates a component to use the available tokens from the team. So then even AI created components are gonna have the same look that you can change. Yes. So to look at other few, this is the icon manager. It uses Lucid Astro icon manager. You can select it and then insert icon at pointer. Let me open code. So index that Astro. So if you go here, add cursor here, we go to the icons, insert at pointer, see it here, save. It should be here. This is how you insert icons. It automatically resolves the imports and everything else. If we delete this, we also have an option, for example, to remove unused imports. So that will clear up this part. Or if you want to write a lot of JavaScript or more complex front matter stuff, you can open it here. So this is an advanced TypeScript editor. So here you can do a lot of dynamic data and stuff like that, getting data from APIs, from WordPress, modifying it, and then using it in the template. This is the font manager. It uses npm to install fonts from front matter. So you can select fonts, you click add to project, and then it's installing it using npm. Add to project. So if you close, now the services are restarted because we installed the new packages. And then if you go here at typography, we have the option to use different fonts. This is the ones we installed, so Montserrat and Outfit. Apply theme. Yes. So see the fonts changed. All the fonts are local, compiled, only if needed. So yeah, this is the font manager. Token designer, we looked into it. You have the option to change the theme. You have the option to generate a theme with AI. You can save your theme, export them and import them. Typography, select fonts, and this is just the defaults to have an idea what everything is. Okay, this is the WordPress connection. I think we went into this. You have the option PhantomWP will send this secret every time it makes a request to WordPress as a header. So if you want to to secure your WordPress site so no one can access it, you could use for example, in your server in Apache or Nginx or maybe Cloudflare, but yeah, that's not ultra secure. But you can block all the is Vercel part now? Okay, yeah, Vercel works. So you can basically block your WordPress site from outside and only allow PhantomWP and maybe yourself to access the site if you have this header. You can block everything else. So Yes, here you have the snippets to use this secret key. So this is a WordPress code snippet, but it's low security, Cloudflare worker or Nginx and Apache configurations to reject all projects that don't have that header. Okay, as you said, this is the does the preview in the WordPress work with Phantom? No, not yet. Not yet, but that's something I'm really seriously considering because it would be really cool, yeah. So the client can see how the page will look in Phantom WP. Not yet, but yeah, it's high on the roadmap. Okay, Media Manager. I showed you this is the image we uploaded. Maybe strap it double. Yeah. Okay. Here you have the option again to insert images, copy them, delete them, or whatever. And here we can view the history of the changes, but here we didn't commit anything. So for example, if we now commit latest changes, commit and push, so now they are on the repository, new changes, no uncommitted changes. So basically now we can even destroy the code spaces. The code is on GitHub. So now we have the setup deploy. Should I do this? Create token over cell. Yeah, let me do it on another screen. New token. Test. Create. Copy. Okay, next. Okay, done. So now the site is building. Here we can this uses polling to check the status once in a while, but if you're anxious you can click here to update the status. If I remember, can I edit back somehow? What do you mean if you delete it from here, from the file tree? Or if you delete the project from the code base? If you delete the project from the dashboard, you'll still have the code in your GitHub repository. Yeah, that won't delete the GitHub repository. It will just delete the projects inside PhantomWP. There is even an option to create another project using that repository. So now the site is live. Here we can see, let's see the domain. So this is the domain over cell. So I know that, but if I want to, yeah, you have an option. So if we go to dashboard, you have create new project. And here you click clone existing and you select a repository. Select one of your repository and then you clone and launch code space. Yes. So yeah, this is the site. If you wanted, we can add a custom domain here. What some people confused here, we have two Vercel URLs here. This will be public. So if you share this with someone, it will see it. This will be private. You have to be logged in to Vercel to see it. So yes, and then let's try to make a change so we can see how that deploys. So let's go to index, let's say, or to the header, my site, we are in business. Now we made the change. We see it here. It reloaded. But now if you want to deploy it, we commit it. Added we set a message. Added we are in business for the commit message. Then commit and push. And this will automatically trigger a new deploy on Vercel. So it's live. So if we go here, manage domains, we are in business. Do I still need to do a page speed analytics to see that it's 100? Or you saw that already a lot of times without any optimization? Or are you interested in a page speed test? Now, okay, so now let me show you, for example, if you want to revert something, let's go to Vercel. It's not actually a static page. That's a confusion a lot of people make because not yet. That's a confusion a lot of people make because this is not an HTML page. For example, the front matter here is JavaScript, so you can do stuff on the server here. So it's not actually a static page. So yes, it's, for example, here you can get data from WordPress and do stuff with it, or get from another API. And yeah, it's not a static. It's not like it's making a call on the client side to the WordPress. It will everything happens on the back end. But yeah, Astro is really optimized, so that's actually the reason, not because it's a static page. So now if you go here to Vercel, a cool thing is that we can go to the deployments, and here you see the deployment. This is the last one we did, but let's say we did something wrong, or okay, we promote the previous one to production, and now we are back to the my site. So it's that easy to revert a change. So now let's say we fix the problem, deployments, and then we go to the last one, promote this to production, promote. So basically all that does is uh, is move this current pointer, but everything is live. So now we should see we are in business. Yeah, see here. Okay. So yes, I think that's it. If you want to have an open chat, please. Can you see me? How the filter of post work? It would be front end only. Uh, no, you can we can see you. Yes, here. Hey. So you can filter them both on the front end and on the back end. When you generate, I think you saw when you import posts from WordPress, you have the option to download to generate a search index for them, and that will be used for search. So search is included in PhantomWP. Any other questions? Anything else you would like to see? Do you want to try to build something with AI? If you have any ideas. How to point the main DNS to PhantomWP version of my REST API. Just one that is not setting us such as criteria. Just one regarding the performance that is not set in Astro by default, such as critical path CSS, preloads, etc. Uh, I'm not sure what everything Astro does in the backend, but what's good to understand here is that Astro ha, has full control of the whole build process. So the build process can see the front end, and it can see what classes are needed where. What It's not like in WordPress where you have 1,000 plugins, themes, Gutenberg blocks, content in the database, and then at runtime you have to optimize everything because the site only exists in runtime. Here, the site is more deterministic. So you have the code, you have the components, the pages, and you know at build time how you can optimize it best for performance. So that's why Astro has such a big performance, because it has control of the whole infrastructure of the front end, if that makes sense. So it implements by default all the best practices. It converts images to WebP with fallbacks. But to make a list to go one by one, exactly what it does, I couldn't do that right now. But we can look at the HTML. So you see I think it's, if e-commerce part comes, can I build my cart and checkout code? And add other than Stripe or other than STP payment method. Uh, yes, you could. I think I showed WooCommerce. I have it on a branch. It will automatically create a cart. Hey, it will automatically create a cart, the checkout page, the a nice cart on the side, the checkout page, a login form, a sign up form, and the payment methods will be Stripe and PayPal, but you could use AI, or you can use the the Astro backend to build any payment method. Maybe at some point we can also get the payment methods from WooCommerce and use those. But yeah, that might be a bit more complicated. So expect the first WooCommerce implementations to be a bit basic. So catalog, cart, sign up, checkout, sign in, and of course, sign in and sign up will work with the WordPress users table. Uh, the orders will be created in the WooCommerce orders table. But yes, but if you have a very big product catalog, there's the option to keep the checkout and everything on WooCommerce and just dump the catalog if that's the bottleneck in your process, and dump the catalog to a headless setup with PhantomWP. But you'll have a subdomain like catalog.domain.com, or maybe you could even rewrite a domain.com/catalog, and that could come from here, from a header site, with the performance benefits it brings. So yes, I think I missed the question. So how to point a domain DNS to PhantomWP version of my website connected via REST API? So if you go here to manage domains, you can add whatever domain you want, mysite.com, but the namespaces of my site, the DNS, the name server, sorry, not namespaces. Ah, sorry, screen browse. So yeah, we're here in custom domains, manage domains. So you can add any domain here, mysite.com, but the condition is that it has the name server set to, it tells you here, set the name servers to this one, forward cell. So if your name servers are set to this for the domain, you just add it here and it's live. Does that make sense? You're welcome. Yeah, that works too. That was also there. Well, you can put WordPress on something like content.mysite.com or backend.mysite.com or leave it under the IP. So you are trying to do like a hybrid approach to keep some content on WordPress, some content on PhantomWP. Because if you keep all your content on PhantomWP, there won't be any issues with SEO. For example, for the longest time, I didn't even use an online site. I used a local WordPress installation with a tunnel set up, and I would just fire it up when I was doing the build. So that works also. You can keep WordPress installed on a server, start the server, make the changes, and then stop the server. You have a lot of options with this stuff. If you set the site address in WordPress, just keep the content on WordPress, but when you consider SEO, it shows URLs. No, I don't understand. Sorry. Ah, you're talking about SEO and that. Yeah, so you mean if Phantom WP loads some SEO settings, but if you build a site for a client to make public, could they do that from? Yeah, that's the idea. You make the changes from WordPress. I showed that in this video. Here we have can you see my screen? Yeah, here we have the team member. This comes from WordPress. So if you make a change to this team member, it will, yeah, no problem. So this image, this content all comes from WordPress. If you modify it, it will update here. Makes new deploys. Yes, yes. Mm. So yeah, so yeah, uh, Davis. So I understand what you say. You say what will happen if you have a certain URL in WordPress and then you import the SEO data in Phantom WP, and it will have a different. It will have the old WordPress URL, right? So I'll have to look into this because I didn't consider the issue. So, but it will be something like update the URLs to the new site. Update SEO URL. Okay. Yes, yes. I didn't consider this, but thank you for raising the issue. And yeah, probably it's a matter of search and replace, basically. Oh, so yes, you can say set the Phantom WP URL in WordPress settings. Yeah, but I think that's the list of the problems. If you want to see anything else, want to talk about anything else, want to talk about why I made Phantom WP, why I think is the future, let's debate if you want. Yeah, sure. All my projects are, but it's a really fun project. Thank you. The problem with Gutenberg and React, okay, they can look good, but when I say this is the future, I say, how do you make sure AI won't go wrong when charging components? You commit often. I don't know when it's out of beta. The problem with Gutenberg and React is that when I said it's no question, what things under you don't need a WordPress theme. Uh, so when I said this is the future, what I meant is the future in the context of AI. So maybe if the AI bubble pops or AI will, I don't know, cost 10 times more, maybe it won't be the future. But if AI stays the same and as good as it is now, it will be very hard for the AI to work with WordPress as it is now. Yeah, the theme doesn't matter. So uh, the problem with WordPress is that everything basically the site starts to exist at runtime, and for the AI is really hard to figure out what's happening. So for example, you tell the AI, okay, change the cart or change something. The AI, okay, will go to the cart page in WooCommerce, but then there might be 10 hooks that change it in another way. And then there might be something in the database, something in the a builder, in something else. So it's very hard to get a definitive answer, okay, how the cart looks and how to make this change. So that's very hard for AI to do in WordPress, and it's one problem WordPress has. So that's why I think this is the future, because AI can reason about this. It's files the AI can read, relatively small components, and it's deterministic. So if you look in a file, you're sure what the output will be from there. WordPress, it's not deterministic. But what's deterministic is the WordPress REST API. So that's why I think it's the best of both worlds, because the AI can work really well with the REST API, because that's just data in a format that the AI can understand, if this makes sense. But yeah, that's why I think it's the future, if AI it's still going to be a thing. Yes. So do you have to configure a yes, yes. So that's the part of WordPress that AI loves. Yes. So do we have to configure the AI part of PhantomWP to work with front and backend? Uh, it uses the it uses the it uses API keys, yes, but the instructions are Phantom WP focused. So it knows where it is, and it knows. And another thing that I wanted to say regarding the future is that, imagine in a WordPress, I don't know, let's say in a front end team or whatever, where you have CSS or stuff like that. Uh, even here I sometimes had to optimize because I grew out of the prompt context. But in a WordPress site where everything is uh, everything is custom, so class names, the way of doing things, themes are not standardized in WordPress. So just the context to tell the AI, okay, this is a WordPress site like this, the theme is this, the CSS is written like this. It will you won't be able to do chat. Maximum you'll be able to generate stuff like you mostly see now in WordPress is just generation. It's not chat. So you can have a coherent chat with the AI and okay, you generated this, but please modify it now, please. From what I saw in WordPress, you just generate a block, you copy it, you paste it, and that's it. You copy back, and if you want changes. So yeah, this is better because all you have to tell the AI in this case is this is an Astro project with Tailwind, and it kind of knows 90% of the stuff about this project. I mean, it's standardized in a way. So yeah, that's another big advantage when working with AI. And also, I don't know if you saw, but we can also use Claude CLI with a subscription. So we open the terminal, install Claude. So it might take a minute. We will see a notification when it's done. Okay, so now we can open Claude here, dark mode, and connect account with subscription. So it didn't open, you open this link. So the CDN, yes. Oh yeah. So the CDN would go to the Vercel, of course, yeah. Let's try to. What chat is this? No, this is the slider. Let's start a new chat. Can you add some cool? Can you see the screen? Great work, mate. I hope it will success. Have a great weekend, guys. Think about yeah, I am considering. Thank you. Have a great weekend too. Can you add some cool animations using JSOP? Right? Let's try. Let's try this. Let's no stop. Can you add some cool animations using JSOP to the hero section? See, it's installing the JSOP package. Oh yes, you can connect your Figma MCP in the terminal in the cloud. So yeah, you saw how it installed. Look, it installed JSOP by itself. It keeps blowing me away. So yeah, here it installed the JSOP and built this. Let me open it. So this is the animation. I don't know about Learn Dash. I have no idea how that works. Just heard of it. Can't tell you now. But if it's available in WordPress, in the WordPress REST API, I don't see why not. So now we can continue and tell it, can you do the same for the features? They should come in on scroll from sides. VS form. I don't know. I'm not sure how VS Form works. I think the first form integration I wanted to do is Fluent Forms because it had the best REST API integration. Look, can you see my screen? So this is what it did with the this is what it did with the with two prompts. Without having JSAP installed. No? Not impressed. Yes, there will be a lot of integrations coming in the future. Of course, if it's possible. But I think my plan now is get it to a stable V1. Micro interactions via prompting. It is nice, of course. Yeah. So I wanted to get it to a stable V1, and then we'll take it from there. See how is it going, how it's used. So for the people that are new here, are there new people? Uh, you can add experimental equals true to the URL, and then you have an option here to this doesn't work. You have an option here to inspect elements from here and to edit text, and also you can edit Tailwind from here, so you have a nice class overview. So for example, BG, you can see the preview just by hovering over stuff. Text white, P padding 2, rounded, MD, save to code, and yes, this is no, this is a new feature. This is the experimental feature. So now you can disable them to see how it looks with them, without them. Try red. For example, we can add the BG green 500 and then disable the red, disable the green, enable the red. So a lot of people told me they're not comfortable with Tailwind, and that's why I built this. And the cool thing is you can search by the CSS property. So you can search for padding, and we will see all the padding variables. So it's not, and if you hover this, you will see the CSS that is generated. And what I wanted to say, if we talk about this white Tailwind, is because look, here, sorry, what do you mean? No, this will teach you Tailwind and it will make you love it. Phantom WP, or how I stopped worrying and love Tailwind. So yeah, you can see, you see the problem is with the vanilla CSS. Let's look at this. So here we have block in Tailwind, but in vanilla CSS you have display block. So the problem is that in vanilla CSS you have two words. So Tailwind works much better with stuff like autocomplete. How would you autocomplete display block here? You would have to write display, enter, and then search the display values. So you'll have to search block and then select block and then enter. With Tailwind, you just write block. It will make you fly through customizing things. For stuff like this and for AI, Tailwind is. I wanted to do a gradient. Gradient PG to right from bg background gradient uh, from, see, we can do the gradient from green 500 to red 500. Yeah, but you see them here in a list and in the editor. If you don't like the number of classes, let's go somewhere. Okay, here are you can go here and hide classes. You see, and you see just the number of classes here, and then you now have an option to edit them here. So here you see them nice in a list. You can try them. You can. So I built this feature for people who don't like Tailwind yet, but they love it. Imagine, yeah, yes, yes. So for example, if you go to font, see, oops, on the bug. See, it's not connected. Uh, yes, so you see the preview. Oh, yeah, that's why it's experimental. Font. I hope it's visible. Font size. Yeah, so it's available. Yeah, so Tailwind has the ultimate reset. Everything looks the same. You, if you noticed, even H1s, everything is the same in Tailwind. So Tailwind is the ultimate reset. To argue, it's a personal preference to find Tailwind because I found it hard to go through tens of components to update. Okay, if you use Tailwind in WordPress, yes, but here, if you have the same have the same classes in 10 places, that's what we call a code smell. You have to think that something is wrong and maybe you should extract the components. So you only change what you want to change in one place. If you see that you need to change it in a lot of places, yeah, it might be a sign that there's a problem in your code. I was against Tailwind too, and okay, I think I read that that's a book, right? Or Atomic Design. Will we get a bill for adding HTML? Ah, but you can do that. You have code snippets here. You even have loops and stuff without going into code. Is this too complicated? Nav, hero, button, card. You you have them here, but the thing is, this is not what I try. This is a live preview. This is not. This is a live preview. This is not how you're used to in a builder to have a canvas that gets compiled to the page. This is the actual page you see. So what you won't get, what you get in a builder is, but why does my page look like that in the back end, but on the front end I can see that? No, this is the page. This is how it will look. So this is basically the front end. So you never have to ask, okay, why why I see it in the back end but not on the front end. Yeah, so that might make it a bit complicated because imagine you have components here, you can have loops, you can have dynamic data. It's hard to drag something somewhere and figure out exactly where it goes. Even this thing is pretty complicated to do. the highlight of the element and opening the code. Paste. So yes. There. If you want to discuss anything else, is there a way to set on component level no mobile styling via Tailwind? Yes, it's possible. You have the modifiers in Tailwind, MD, large, small, so you can. So Tailwind 4 also works at the component level. A new responsive mega menu with the WordPress data, like we failed then. Yes, you can do container queries and queries based on the parent in Tailwind. In Tailwind 4, that's possible. But don't ask me how because I haven't done it. But I know it's possible. So yeah, let's try. So I need to switch to the browser. I have a Stream Deck, but I'm still getting used to it. So okay, let's hide the code. Okay, let's turn off this classes inspector and start a new. Can you please create a mega menu with data loaded from WordPress team member custom post type? Make it look modern. Anything else I could tell it to do? Oh, so you have my... Huh? Does this work? Uh, okay, so there's a delay still. So yeah, let's see what it does. Okay, we can tell it's responsive afterwards. Afterwards, but it should make it responsive by default. If it doesn't, I I will be frustrated at him. Strange that it didn't use the WordPress WordPress data tool. Okay, let's see. Oh, he did it with what's this, tabs accordion, and it sorted them by. And let's check the responsiveness. No, nothing. Uh-uh. The problem is it's not responsive. Can you make it good on small screens? See, this is what I was talking about. In normal WordPress, you would just generate some code, paste it, and then copy it back, paste it in another thing, ask for modifications. This is like a chat. It's not just generative. Okay, and now on mobile, here works. Ah, this is interesting. Do you approve? It's responsive. The only thing is this scroll bar here. Yeah. So, you approve? Hmm. Can you feel the power in it? It gives you superpowers. So, anything else you'd like to talk about? Or to try, or to. It helps if you don't. It doesn't help. It's better to know how to code. Oh, the AI helps if you don't know how to code. Okay, yeah, and I want to think that it helps you learn. So um, it's not like trying to do something alone. You can ask it anything. You can ask it about errors. You can ask it about. It's not like in WordPress when you have a white page or something like that and you don't know what happens. In Word, I see a lot of posts on the WordPress groups like, okay, so I see a white page or I see some strange error from inside the guts of a builder. It's maybe try clearing the cache. That's the only thing you can do. But yes, here usually an error is easy to spot. It's in a file. It's a missing import, a missing comma, something like that. So should we call it a stream? How did I do for my first one? What if the website already is built with builder like Elementor? No, the first one was just a test. And the first one was just a test that took 1.5 hours. If the website is built with Elementor, you rebuild it in PhantomWP. Take screenshots and give it to the AI and it will build it. So you can add images here. So if you go here, add photos, and you can add the photo of some design, it will recreate it. Not 100%, but pretty close. Yeah, I think I think it's easier to do videos like this. At least we I see you there and I see questions, but when I'm alone, something a bit more complicated. Yeah, probably. It depends. So yeah, when I'm alone, it's really hard to talk to the camera. At least now I have someone to talk to. So yeah, so if I get the passing grade, I'm for my first one. Second one, if you include the test, I'm happy. So if you don't have anything else, I will do more with features, with really nice to see you. Tackle it. The problem is I'm not a designer. I oh yes. I have no idea how to design. That's why I use a lot of AI. I mean, I'm a developer. I was never good with design, but we can try. What would you like to design? It's WordCamp Europe. I don't know, around June. It's usually in June, 12th of June, somewhere around that. But if that's it, I think I'm gonna close this. I'm really tired. And I'll see you in the next streams, and I will start releasing videos with the new features. Thank you. Have a great weekend to you too. Thank you. Hope this helped, and see you next one. Bye.